Keep the laughs going. Fourth grader with a spare tire. That is not what I need to comment. I am just starting my journey out, after the pregnancy, and I don't know, it was kind of early. I started 4.5 weeks, and now I was feeling it yesterday. Not good feels. So yeah. I gotta take it real easy, I think.
Take it easy.
Yeah.
But soon.
I know. It is soon, but I'm anxious.
Yeah. Well, especially when this is what you do for a job. It's like, I gotta get back on it.
Exactly. And when you work out, it's like you're inspired, you have things to say, you've got like a reason to
post it.
Yeah, exactly. Like I had nothing to say in my challenge groups, like, dude, you guys work out today? Make sure it happen. It's like I don't have anything to say. So workouts, like whenever we're like feeling like we don't know what to say, I'm telling you, a workout. Plus when I'm working out, things come to me. Like I keep a notebook in the gym because ideas come to me. Kind of like when you're
That's a good idea.
Yeah. So I'm like, pause, I gotta write that down, or rewind because I just wrote that down. But yeah, it helps. Clarity. It brings clarity.
Yeah.
And inspiration and energy. So that's a post right there.
I'm like writing that down.
Me too. Clarity, inspiration, and energy?
Yep.
All right. Me and you, I didn't realize I should have when I met you at the ballpark, but we're kind of like on the same brain wave.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, well, we're 3 minutes past, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Hey, guys, welcome to the DFG Team Call. We have Kelly Grothe today, who I adore. She's fun. She's energetic. She laughs a lot, which I love that. And we just happen to be brain twins this week because she gave me her topic, and I'm like, get out. That is the same topic that I have for a training in a couple of weeks. So we obviously really need it, and she's speaking to the heart of DFG. Before she even joined as a coach, primarily, like 90% of our team calls was speaking to the brain, the mind, the heart behind all this, not so much the business side and the actionable steps. So she's taking it back old school, which I'm down with. So please grab your notebook and pen because we'll be taking some notes. And Kelly, I'm just going to mute myself and turn it over to you, girl.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
I'm excited. All right. Hi, everybody. This is my first time hosting a DFG call, so I'm a little nervous. I signed up for this call back in January, too, so I've had a lot of time to think about it. But the topic is really close to my heart. And I wasn't sure it was like an appropriate topic because I know we talk about business a lot. But then recently, like Lindsay posted something about, kind of really rocking at life. And this is what's helped me kind of feel like I'm rocking at life. And I maybe am not to a point of massive success in my business yet, but I love my life. So I think that is a huge step in the right direction. A lot of the stuff I'm going to share is either stuff I've learned from other coaches or personal development or some online courses that I've done. So just to jump right in, I want everyone to think of like how many times you've talked yourself out of doing something where you thought, oh, that might be a good idea, and then you didn't do it. So I've definitely done this. And after my first year as a coach, I started thinking, I've been a coach for 2 years. So after my first year, I started thinking maybe coaching wasn't for me and my team wasn't growing. I wasn't hitting Success Club and I was comparing myself to other people a lot. And all of that stuff I was letting hold me back. So I really thought about why I started as a coach and like my real why of why I loved it. And I'm not talking about your why, like financial freedom, nothing tied to a financial outcome. Financial freedom sounds awesome, I know, but I thought back to the first time someone put their faith in me as a coach, and then that person had awesome results, and I thought about how freaking good that felt. That felt good, and yeah, you made $45 or whatever too. So when I started thinking about that stuff, I stopped talking myself out of this, and I stopped criticizing myself. I focused back on working on myself and I focused on everything I loved about being a coach. And I have to say, the biggest thing I've learned in the last year since I've really changed that is mindset is everything. So what I focus on becomes my reality. Even if I'm struggling to hit Success Club, I still love being a coach. So that is been key for me. And I would say the truth for probably all of us is the biggest battle we fight is with ourselves. So you can be your own worst enemy, but you have to remember that turning your dreams into reality, achieving success in this business is not reserved for only a few people. Everyone can do it. So I think a lot of times we get caught up in our own little group. I was just talking to Lindsay about this before, is when you take a step outside of DFG and you look at how many coaches are successful elsewhere in the network, it's pretty cool to see that there's a lot of other people out there doing this and being successful. It's not just us. It's not just a few people in DFG that can do it. We can all do it, but you have to like harness your power. That's a little Tony Robbins-ish, but so if you're struggling with your business or with your life, a lot of these principles can be applied to really everything in life. You're probably facing some sort of resistance. So once you become aware of what's holding you back, it's a lot easier to move forward. So for me, the three major types of resistance that this really like struck a chord for me is lack of clarity, lack of confidence, or lack of competence. So first I'm going to talk about clarity. And when you talk about that, it's a lot of us have an idea of where we want to go. And the thing is, we're not really crystal clear on it. So again, I'm going to use financial freedom because we say that a lot. And that's an awesome goal, but that's super blurry. It doesn't really have a crystal clear meaning to it. So what I started doing and what I think everyone should do is sit down and write out what you want your life to look like. And I'm not talking about your business, although your business is a part of your life. Your life is not only your business. So I want you to think about what your whole life is going to look like. So whether that's a month from now, a year from now, whatever feels good for you, and really think about what you want to experience. What do you want your mornings to look like? What kind of people are you surrounded by? And this exercise is such a cool part of setting your intention. And I try to do it almost every day. Like, what do I want my day to look like? I also do it weekly, monthly, yearly. And once you have that clarity, it's a lot easier to make a game plan of where you want to go. And again, like lately, I've been thinking back a lot to when I first became a coach. So now, if you've been a coach for a while, then sometimes you get these things in your head like, I want to be a 15-star diamond, which yes, that's an awesome goal. But think about back to the beginning of like a little simpler, of helping people, of making money for your family, of being happy every day, not going to work for some job that you hate, and start making a game plan of how you're going to get to that dream life that you see. And, you know, they always say a goal without a plan, it's like taking a road trip without a map. So you could get to success, but you might end up lost a lot along the way. And a lot of people end up getting so discouraged and lost, which is where I was for a little while, is that you almost want to quit. But you have to remember why you love this and why you're doing it. And you don't need to have everything mapped out. You don't have to have a step-by-step game plan, but just knowing what you want to achieve and what actions that you think will get you closer to that is a huge first step. So going right into confidence, if you weren't clear on what you wanted, how could you be confident about getting it? So, you know, once you're clear, I want you to think about confidence and all those things you possess in yourself that make you a good coach and a cool person. And some people are super clear on what they want and still lack confidence. And in that case, again, like you really need to think about what type of person you want to become. Last week Courtney had said on her call about, you know, she wanted all these things and she realized, oh, wait, I actually have to change. And back before Beachbody and before I learned about personal development, I was a pretty negative person. I always thought things were happening to me, but I also was a person that was like, I am who I am. I'll never change. I'll never do that. And I'm sure someone else out there has thought that too. And it's actually pretty stupid because there's nothing wrong with change. And if you want to be a confident person and be able to control your life, you can't control things that happen in life always, but you can control how you respond to them. And for me personally, when I consciously decided to be a confident, happy person, stupid little things that used to drive me crazy or, send me over the edge, now they just roll off my back. Especially in this type of business, sometimes we get negative feedback from people, or people say we're annoying, or you just have people that aren't into what you're doing and you can't understand why. But if you're confident in yourself and you're confident in what you're doing, you can push through that and you can still believe in yourself. So another exercise, take 2 minutes and write down all the things about yourself that make you a great coach or just a great person. I think a great person and a great coach is like interchangeable. So for me, some things I like to remember about myself is I'm compassionate, I'm smart, people come to me for advice, just anything that you can look back to and be like, yeah, I rock, and give yourself a little boost. So on to the next resistance is competence. And I think I hear this probably more than the others because it doesn't require as much like self-introspection as confidence. But, this is when you actually don't know how to do something. And you'll hear people all the time say, I don't know how to use Facebook. I don't know how to use the new app. I don't understand the online office. And I have a coach on my team, and if she's listening, she's going to know I'm talking about her. But she always says she's not good with technology because she's old and that I'm so much better at technology than her. Well, she's 1 year older than me, and I'm 35. And probably a lot of you listening are younger than me. But I didn't have computers growing up. We didn't have Facebook. We didn't have apps. I didn't have an iPhone. I didn't even have a cell phone. But I learned all that stuff. And this is one of my favorite quotes that I throw at people all the time when they tell me they don't know how to do something. Argue for your limitations and you get to keep them. So if you want to tell me you don't know how to use Facebook, that's fine. But my grandma's learned how to use Facebook. So I think if you made it a priority, you could learn it too. So take a minute and identify some sort of skill that you need to learn, whatever it is, anything that you could apply to coaching, whether it's listening to people, something technology-based. Not only will you learn something new, but it'll help boost your confidence. So again, you can have all the skills in the world. You've heard this before, but if you don't believe in yourself, if you focus on worries and doubts, you'll never get where you want. So I'm going to give you a few things that I've started doing in my life. I try to do them every day. And you've heard them all before, I'm sure. And they all sound great and fun, but we don't always put them into practice. But when you do, I guarantee you'll see positive changes in your life. And with positive changes in your life come positive changes in your business. So the first one is start your day with gratitude. Easy. Every morning when I wake up, I usually do it while I'm still laying in bed, like not wanting to get up and work out. I think of things that I'm lucky to have. My boyfriend, my home, my team, my friends, anything that makes you smile, anything that makes you happy. I know some people like to write it down, which is also great. It's just a great way to start the day. You'll never feel bad in the morning if you start the day thinking good. The next one's a little more tough. Pay attention to your thoughts. So often you can get yourself into a little funk, and once you're there, sometimes it's hard to get out. The things that you tell yourself are so important. So this is really eye-opening if you haven't done something like this before, but set your alarm for every hour one day while you're at work or while you're home, whatever you do during the day. Every hour when that goes off, I want you to write down what you were thinking about. So if your last hour before that alarm went off, you were super productive and you felt awesome, chances are whatever you write down is probably going to be something pretty positive. If you had an unproductive, unhappy, boring hour, you'll probably write down something like, this sucks, I suck, my team sucks, whatever it is. Those kind of thoughts in your head, like that's the wrong program to be playing. So the next step is you have to be willing to change those thoughts. It's so easy to say, but that's so hard to do. So in my experience, a lot of what I hear people say again and again, coaches, challengers, friends that have no affiliation with Beachbody, is they say, you're so lucky, I have no time, or I have no money for that. No one wants to join me. No one would let me do that. And when you catch yourself thinking things like this, I want you to like yell at yourself in your head, stop. You can yell it out loud. People might think you're crazy if you're at work though. And then I want you to grab an affirmation and say it out loud to yourself. So this, way back when I first became a coach and I first knew Lindsay, she posted something about money a long time ago. And it said, if you think, you know, if you have a welfare mentality, you're always going to be in a harsh way with money. And I screenshotted that post so long ago. And, you know, it was, instead of saying, I don't have money for this, what I say now is I always have more than enough money to meet my needs. I'm not a millionaire, but I'm not struggling. Money's not an issue for me. I don't let it have a negative connotation in my life, and it doesn't anymore. Another thing is I have no time. We'll switch that around and say I am in charge of my life. So I have 24 hours in a day. You have 24 hours in a day. There's that like stupid meme, like we all have the same 24 hours in a day as Beyonce. So you can do it. I used to have a job that I hated and I would be so sad every day. And like, I have no time for anything. I can't do the things I want. But then I was like, why am I working at this job I hate? We live in America. We are freely employed where we want to be. I'm in charge of my life. So guess what I did? I quit. I was like, goodbye. If I'm not full-time Beachbody, I have to do other stuff to make money, but I do things I enjoy now. There's a lot of stuff out there you can do. Same thing, no one wants to join me. Say to yourself, I'm attracting awesome people every day. And I do think I attract awesome people every day. And not everyone wants to be a coach, maybe. Not everyone wants to be a challenger, but I've made so many new friends just from opening up conversations with people about Beachbody. And, you know, maybe they went and did something else, but we're friends now. And how cool is that you have one extra cool person in your life? And then my last one, which, you know, I used to always feel like a dork when I would do affirmations. I'm sure I'm not the only one, but you just say like, I love myself. Look at yourself every day and say you love yourself. You do. You should. Okay, moving on from affirmations. I love affirmations. I could sit here and say them to myself all day. Allow yourself to feel good. So if you're feeling crappy and you're not in the mood and you're not getting anywhere and you sent out 100 invites and everybody said no, change your state, like physical state. So sit up straight, hold your head high, smile. I hate when I see sad faces and we're on team calls and we're talking about stuff. Like, we should be happy. It's a hard job, but this is a fun job. This should be a fun business. And I tell the coaches on my team that all the time. When someone says they're so stressed out or, you know, they don't know if they can manage doing this. And I never want anyone to feel like that with this business, because I do this because it's fun and I like it. If I wanted to be stressed out and angry and sad, I'd go back to my old job. If you can't change your state that easily by smiling, go back to that list of things you made that in the morning that you felt grateful for and sit there and think about it and really feel the gratitude. If that doesn't work, take a walk, go get a manicure, go ride a roller coaster, go get a cup of coffee, whatever makes you feel good. But don't allow yourself to sit in a state of sadness or being down, or don't be a martyr. Like, I can't get out of this funk, because you can. We all have the ability to do that. I always call it a sad sack when someone won't like snap out of their sad ways, because it's a lot easier than you think. Just smile. It's like stretch that muscle. The next step, this is my favorite, feed your mind, personal development. So obviously this is really the only vital behavior I'm going to talk about today, but it's my favorite one. If I stopped being a coach today, I would still do personal development every single day. I know this slips through the cracks with so many people, and I kind of understand why. I know you don't think it has an immediate result in your business. On the other hand, though, it's become a total non-negotiable for me, and especially in my business, because people don't come to me as a coach because I have a six-pack or because I'm like a model of fitness, because I'm really not. I'm always working on myself, but they come to me because I'm positive and I'm happy, and they see that I'm putting out this vibe of happiness. And I got that from personal development. I know everyone's been like buzzing about the Miracle Morning lately, and I'm only halfway through. I haven't started waking up at 5 a.m. just yet, but I'm loving the book so far. And he quotes Jim Rohn in it, and your level of success will seldom exceed your level of personal development. And that's really hit home for me. As soon as I heard that, I wrote it right down, because if you want a level 10 success and you're putting in a level 0 on personal development, you're going to have a big problem. So find something that speaks to you. Again, this is something Lindsay said recently on a post that stuck with me, is if you're reading something that's not speaking to you, put it down. You don't have to read GoPro if that doesn't speak to you. I'm sorry, I didn't like GoPro. I learned from it. Lindsay's laughing at me. I can see her. GoPro, I read it. I was like, okay. Like, I get it. I learned stuff from it. And even certain books like The Compound Effect, when I read it a long time ago, didn't speak to me. I just re-listened to it on audio, and I got so much from it. So what really changed my life was I read books that spoke to me. So like Girl Boss, I loved. It's just because I like the author a lot. You Are a Badass, The Champagne Diet, Miracles Now. I love Gabby Bernstein. She's got a really cool style. The Energy Bus. I just finished Big Magic. And again, they're not business related. If business related books speak to you, go for it. But for me, I needed something a little different. And I've changed my life 100% since I started implementing personal development. People also will tell me that, oh, I just bought all this stuff. I can't afford a book. Okay. You can ask me, I'll lend anyone a book. But you can also get personal development pretty much anywhere these days for free. So you can follow some authors online, Facebook, even Snapchat. Like Gary Vaynerchuk's on Snapchat. He's giving business tips all the time. The girl that wrote Champagne Diet's on Snapchat. She does little like mantras every day. I mean, stuff you can really get into. YouTube, you guys know where to find it. So if you're saying you can't afford it, don't have time for it, those are excuses. We even have an entire section in the Coach Online office that's dedicated to personal development. We also have national wake-up calls, team calls. I mean, I could go on forever. So another thing, if you're like really going to fight me on personal development and you're in a funk and you can't get out of it, is make a really badass playlist that you love of music that gets you pumped up and excited. And when you're in one of your down, don't feel good vibes, crank it. I don't know, the Rocky theme song, something that gets you going and gets your brain like going in the right direction. Okay, one more. So this last one is a little like woo-woo crazy, and it took me a long time to wrap my head around it. But if you watch The Secret, or if you've known Lindsay for a while, she talks about this too, is experience what you want. So visualization, it can actually change your life, and it's really fun. So think about what you want, but I'm not just saying, like, don't just think I want a new car. I want you to think about your new car. What color is it? What does it look like? How did you feel when you signed the papers for it? What does it smell like? What do you hear? And when I do this now, I like to get real quiet. Sometimes I do it at night before I fall asleep. Close your eyes and really think about what you want and experience it. There's like, if you know anything about Muhammad Ali, when he used to go into fights, he would already know that he was going to win every time. And sometimes he would call it out, like, I'm going to knock that guy out in the 4th round. And you know what? He did it because he wasn't only physically prepared, he was mentally prepared. In his head, he already won the fight. So again, I know like it feels a little crazy, but do it. I like to meditate also, and a lot of times I'll meditate on things I want. I know some people, especially in DFG, are big on prayer, so you can kind of pray about it and visualize it and get into it, but you really want to be in that moment, and it's proven to work. And hopefully most of you watch The Secret, but that's just like goes right into that too. So, and Lindsay has a good YouTube video. I wrote this in my notes that she's like pretending to drive a car in it. So if you really can't get into it, go watch that. Seriously, again, that's really all I have, but all of this stuff has made such an impact on my life. And I'm not a 15-star diamond. I'm not in the millionaire club, but I love being a coach. I love my life. I've changed so many things in my life, and isn't that what we all want? Don't you want to love what you're doing? I mean, you don't want this to bring you down. So find something that brings you up and remember why you started. So that's it for me. Did I go too fast?
Girl, no, you didn't go too fast. I have chill. And I have a feedback. Hold on 1 second. I have no idea. Oh, no, I don't know what I'm saying. No, that was awesome. That was awesome. I have chills. 3 times I got chills in there, and that's when you know it was good. I didn't know that you could see me. So, sorry, I was doing all kinds of like stretches. I was probably so distracting. Sorry about that. But I wrote 2 pages of notes, girlfriend.
Good.
And I put a big old star next to change your state, or the way Tony Robbins says it, alter your state. And that is huge. It's like changing your physiology. And to piggyback on some things that you say, you're negative, your day's down, you're here, you're slouching, your head is in your hands, and you were saying be up here. But one way to do that is to stand up, jump around. He had us beating our chest at the seminar, just like changing our state, because it is impossible to go back to here. Then you're like, okay, what can I accomplish? Now, knowing that, don't think that there's not times I'm like, I know I could change my state right now, but I still want to be miserable. I love what you said about the sad sack. So check your Facebook, because I wrote on your wall. You're hilarious. I mean, so much of this, I felt like, oh my gosh, yes. Like, I used to say that. Things I don't say anymore, so you just gave it back. Thank you. Who was it, the girl? I wrote down Energy Bus, Big Magic, Miracles Now. Who was the lady that you said you liked? I didn't hear.
Gabby Bernstein. She wrote Miracles Now.
Okay, I'll point to that. Perfect.
She has a couple of different really great books. It's a lot about like love and fear, and she's into yoga and meditating and all that cool stuff.
Awesome. Well, I love your energy, and I know that we all need it. You guys know that I'm huge on affirmations. I got my stack right here. They really just propelled my business, and people think that it is silly. And when I have people write affirmations, I have them say them aloud, looking in the mirror and saying that to yourself. You know how silly that feels, but it makes all the difference. It makes all the difference, because you need to believe it. And in order to believe it, you got to say it, experience it, and see it. You got to do all of that, right? Okay. Wow. I loved your call. I'm going to be sharing this with everyone.
Woohoo.
You have anything else to say?
No, I think that's it.
Yeah, I've got a lot of notes. Thank you so much, Kelly. And I was getting text messages too. People were loving the call. Love you. Thank you so much.
I feel so much better. I've been nervous for like 5 months. So.
I appreciate it. You have no idea. And I think it's John Maxwell says that you want to feel nervous pretty much every time you go out to do it, because it brings a little bit of humility,
Yep.
Okay. Thank you again. I hope you have a wonderful day. You walk away from the screen knowing that you just brought it, and that you just lifted everyone's energy and spirits and gave them some mad tools to implement. So thank you.
Good. I hope so.
You did, especially me. So, all right, girl. Love you. Thank you so much.
Thanks.